How are trade wars affecting technology dominance between the US, China, and Europe? The conflict has fully shifted from a trade war to a technology cold war, where dominance in chips, AI, and 5G is the ultimate prize. The US and China are locked in a zero-sum battle for trillions of dollars in future economic output, forcing Europe into a precarious position as a battlefield and a potential third power. The US has weaponized export controls on advanced chips, below 14 nanometers, chip design software, and manufacturing equipment, specifically targeting China's tech advancement. This strategy cripples China's semiconductor industry and preserves the American lead in critical areas like AI and cloud computing, asserting technological sovereignty over short-term economic gains. China's dominant strategy, outlined in initiatives like Made in China 2025, relies on massive state investment, over $50 billion in funds, to force self-sufficiency and displace foreign suppliers. When tariffs restrict market access, China often redirects surplus subsidized goods, like steel or solar panels, to other regions, creating new product dumping risks that threaten local industries in the EU and India. Europe is caught in the middle, facing both risks and opportunities. While the trade conflict hasn't triggered massive supply chain blockages, the EU's trade deficit with China has risen, and its growth is hampered by negative shocks from US trade policy. The expected cumulative impact of trade uncertainty and tariffs on Europe's growth is estimated at roughly 0.7 percentage points between 2025 and 2027. To break its dependence, Europe is moving toward digital sovereignty. It's imposing tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles and has passed the EU Chips Act, committing significant investment to increase domestic semiconductor manufacturing. Europe's response is largely defensive, aiming to avoid stagnation and safeguard its $1.3 trillion trade relationship with the US, which remains its largest partner. The core of the conflict is a rivalry over national security, intellectual property, and technological infrastructure. Disputes over 5G security and AI standards are extensions of this rivalry, as control over these networks defines future economic and military leadership. This has accelerated friendshoring, where supply chains are moved away from rivals and into allied nations, fundamentally fragmenting the globalized production model built over the last 3 decades. The US and China are prioritizing control over critical technologies, causing cross-border investment in sensitive sectors to decline by approximately 35% since 2022. This rivalry forces all nations to choose sides, where the cost of misalignment, either by losing access to China's market or to US-designed technology, is measured in billions of dollars of lost competitive advantage. Ultimately, the trade war is now an existential fight for technological supremacy. While the US currently holds the lead in innovation, the conflict is accelerating self-sufficiency efforts in both China and Europe, replacing the old, open global market with a new, highly regulated system defined by competing technological spheres of influence.